Well, he is a director known equally for his films as the controversies he loves to court. Gopal Varma has turned a Ganpati troll. That too today on Ganesh Chaturthi, Gopal Varma has put up a series of very offensive tweets about Lord Ganesha, upsetting devotees on Twitter as well as off it. Varma tweeted that Lord Ganesh could not save his own head from being severed. So how likely was it that he could save others, hurling another offensive tweet that said, Happy Ganapathi to morons. In a series of tweets, Varma asked what were the devotees celebrating, the day Lord Ganesha was born or the day Lord Shiva cut off his head. He also challenged devotees of Lord Ganesha to give a list of obstacles their Lord had helped them overcome. Later, Varma even tried to justify his anti-Ganpati offensive, saying he was both ignorant and innocent about Lord Ganesha's powers. Now, Varma used Ganpati immersion as a backdrop in some memorable scenes of his film Satya, considered one of his most acclaimed films. So is Varma's anti-Ganesh offensive just his way of gaining publicity is the big question. Does he hope to change his fortunes for the better by insulting the Lord, who is considered a good luck deity by so many across the world?
Right, so basically he has hurt the religious sentiment of lakhs of Hindus. We have great faith in Lord Ganesha, and nobody has a right to make this kind of a statement. There are mythological stories, different stories with regard to our God, but that doesn't mean this kind of a statement should be made by anyone. So I condemn this statement, and I hope, because this statement is directly violation of the law of the land, and I hope that the government or the Mumbai police must take some action against this gentleman.
I think it's blasphemous, it's insensitive, and it's the height of actually an individual who chooses to ridicule the sentiments of crores of Indians who are bringing in Lord Ganpati into their homes today. This is not just a festival which is limited to Maharashtra. I think that all kinds of backgrounds and religious backgrounds also, despite that, believe in Lord Ganesha. There is one thing which is called freedom of expression. And there is the other which is called freedom of hurt, which is clearly not acceptable in this particular case. Or for that matter, one would have expected Mr. Gopal Varma not to resort to such cheap sensationalism.
Why politically? Even really, he must have intentions politically, but this is socially and religiously also it is a wrong statement. If it is such mad people are there, by taking comments on so many people, you are taking advantage of publicity. I request the media also not to give publicity, because ultimately what they want publicity. The bomb blast has taken place, hundreds of people have died, and this fellow was thinking of a movie. Such crack people are there, mad people are there, people are there. Why to waste your time and our time for these people? Have with them. We believe in God, we trust in God, we know what is Lord Ganesha. If they don't know, ask him whether his parents are with his parents, ask him to learn from his parents at least if he doesn't know anything.
News just coming in. Now, complaint has been submitted to the Delhi police against filmmaker Gopal Varma. Activist Shehzad Poonawala has sought filing of an FIR against the filmmaker Varma under sections 295A, 505 of the IPC, 1860 and section 66A of the IT Act for deliberately and maliciously intending to insult the religious sentiments of crores of devotees of Lord Ganesha. I have Mr. Poonawala joining me on the phone line now. Mr. Poonawala, what is the contention for your complaint?
See, madam, today is a very auspicious day of Ganesh Chaturthi, and not just Hindus but even Muslims like me who hail from Maharashtra. We have great reverence for the Lord Ganesha. We consider him to be an Ashtavinayak. Now, these series of tweets by Gopal Varma, they are not only aimed at, cheap publicity seeking, but they're offensive, and they're violation of 295, basically insulting and humiliating the sentiments of Lord Ganesha's devotees. There is no territorial jurisdiction as such in such matters as per the Supreme Court order. So I have submitted my complaint and my petition to the Delhi police for action that involves registration of FIR under these three sections which you have rightly cited. And I hope that he's immediately booked and action is taken. And I have also submitted a copy to the MHA because Mr. Rajnath Singh and his party are quite the ones who support the ideas of Hinduism. So they must not let this kind of act go unpunished for cheap publicity seeking.
All right, Mr. Poonawala, would you forgive Gopal Varma? Would you take back the case if the director came out and apologized?
No, madam, this is not for me to take his apology or forgive him. It's for the court of law. He has committed a violation of Indian Penal Code and IT Act. Once that violation has been committed, the only people who can forgive him or grant him reprieve is the court. So it's not for me to forgive him or not. But as an individual, if he genuinely apologizes and regrets and tries to assuage the feelings of lakhs of us who have been offended,
Yes.
I think we can morally forgive him, but legally he has to take the legal recourse.
All right, so RGV, they will have to face the law, is what Mr. Shehzad Poonawala is saying to Headlines today. Meanwhile, we also have our correspondent Saki Deshpande joining me live from Mumbai. Saki, the irony lies in the fact that despite the outrage on Twitter and outside, Ram Gopal Varma has refused to even delete or apologize. As far as deleting that tweet is concerned, well, there's only a clarification he's come out with, but far from an apology, really.
Absolutely, Vedika. Ram Gopal Varma is someone who has gotten into Twitter spats quite a bit. He's gotten into a lot of embroiled in a lot of controversy with other stars as well, based on his comments on Twitter. And these series of comments and tweets coming on a very auspicious day, where even in Bollywood, celebrities, including Govinda, celebrities from the TV world, celebrate this particular festival with a lot of festivities, with a lot of celebrations. They invite the media, they invite their fellow actors and stars. Everyone comes together to celebrate this particular festival, which is quite a big deal in Mumbai, which is the capital of Bollywood, so as to say. This obviously, these comments have not been welcomed by a lot of people who are celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi today, and it is quite a sensitive sort of a topic to comment on the occasion of Ganesh Chaturthi in itself. So RGV are not willing to back down. He's saying that these comments and these questions are coming from ignorance and innocence, but obviously these comments are not going to be welcomed and not going to be taken very well by the devotees of Lord Ganpati, and also a lot of stars from the Bollywood fraternity who also worship and who also pray on this particular day quite a bit.
Okay, Saki, do stay with me. We also have Atir Khan joining me live from the capital. Atir, RGV remains brazen. Some people call this a publicity stunt, but now he will have to face the law after Shehzad Poonawala has filed that complaint.
Well, absolutely. Things have been set in motion. And now that this activist Shehzad Poonawala has filed a complaint, the police will have to take cognizance of this matter, and it pertains to causing religious hurt and hurt to sentiments of people. Blasphemy is also included. So certainly the police is going to take cognizance, and Mr. Ram Gopal Varma might be called in for questioning as to why he has given put out such sort of statement. So the legal proceedings will be initiated, and he will have to face the music now.
And how serious are these charges that he now faces, Atir?
Well, these are very serious charges, Vedika. As per the provisions of the IPC, the cognizance will be taken by the Delhi police, causing hurt to religious sentiments of people, blasphemy. And not just that, it might also, sort of create law and order problems for the police. So it becomes imperative on their part to look into this matter and examine it threadbare.
All right, Atir Khan, thanks so much for joining us. Saki Deshpande also reporting from Mumbai on that controversial issue that has been raised by none other than controversial filmmaker Ram Gopal Varma.